What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with the new episode, new Netflix series called Cheat Unfinished Business. Season 1, episode 1, two sides to every story, y'all. This is insane. Before I start, could y'all make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel? Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video that I drop. And make sure you're liking the video so we can stay in the algorithm of things. That would be great. And here we go. All right, so the episode has, I want to say, about 12 different people who were couples, but they are no longer couples. I was just thinking that this show was very much trauma filled. Like, I've already gotten over this person. Now I got to relive what they lied about, what they are lying about, what, so it was just something. So they meet up in this room. It was the people that were, I want to say it was the first set of people, and then their exes will come in, and they hadn't seen their exes since they broke up. So the basis of this show is to either rekindle, but mainly it's to get the real truth out of their exes and to explain finally what happened, what went left, what did they do in this relationship. I was like, this is crazy. So the next day, because they all, they introduced everybody, but they didn't, there are some names that they didn't introduce. They were just, everybody was just coming in and sitting down. So everything started the next day. So once everybody came in, what they did, the people who cheated were in one room. They wouldn't stand in a room with their ex. They were in rooms with the people who all cheated together versus the people who did not. I think that's how that went. I'm not really for sure. But the next day, the assignment was for each couple to go to this little quiet place and talk and explain what happened. What happened? What was the breakdown in a relationship? So we have our first couple, Olivia and Liam. And she says she wants answers, that she's deserving of it. Liam tells her there is nothing to tell and nobody else is out there for him. So Liam is the one who cheated. But he's saying that there is nothing out there for him. So then we get to Karen and Amberly. And Karen tells her that the trust is broken. This was all happening, I want to say, in that room. I don't know, but I'm just going to tell y'all what was happening. So Karen and Amberly, Karen tells her that the trust has been broken, but really the trust has been broken two ways. So when she texts him, apparently Amberly texts him telling him that she's going to go sleep with her ex. And Amberly said, prior to that, you had 3 girls at your house. And there is so much more to this story, so we're going to find out what was happening. So Karen wants to rebuild the trust in their relationship. Then we have Briggs and Rebecca. Now, I want to say this was happening in the beginning. Everybody was saying what they wanted. Briggs and Rebecca, they were the first couple to meet up. So some of the couples I wrote was Lucia and Connor, not O'Connor, but Lucia and Connor. They broke up 4 months ago. They have been together, I want to say, for 4 years. Liam and Olivia, they broke up 4 months ago, but they've been together for 10 years. You have Karen and Amberly, Rebecca and Briggs. It was more couples, but we'll go for it along the way. So Briggs and Rebecca was the first couple to meet up. He tells her she was in this relationship with him for 10 years. For years. For 2 years. I'm sorry. And there have been allegations. But Rebecca was like, if I don't have proof, it's not happening. So she she didn't believe him, but she didn't act on those allegations. So they broke up because I think she walked away because she wanted something more. It was something, but she didn't get from him. So that's why she walked away. Now, she walked away always wondering if he cheated on her because of the accusations. So she felt like they were true. So she said in her confessional, the boy she used to be with for 2 years isn't the boy she knew. And I was like, girl, that's because you need a man. Anyway, the other couple we saw was I'm so messing up this review. All of this, because I wrote the next morning. Okay, so all of this was happening the same day. This was people in their confessionals, them in that room or whatever. And this is all of this, So Steph and Andre haven't been together in 2 years. She said when they moved in together, she saw his phone and saw conversations. So I guess he got a text from some girl, and she saw conversations between him and the woman. And Andre needs to tell her if Andre needs to tell Steph that he physically cheated on her. So we'll get to that too. So the next morning, they have to meet face to face with their cheaters. And I was like, oh my God, for a person to go into this place where they're moving forward, not really saying that they're fully healed, but they have moved forward and moved on with their life, to sign up for this, to be pulled back to a relationship where you're reminded that this person didn't do right by you. It feels like it got to be a glutton for punishment, and it has to be, I don't know, maybe, and you know what, I will say this. My therapist just told me Friday, sometimes going backwards, because I told her I wanted to move forward in some things in my life. And so she was like, sometimes moving backwards is moving forward. And I was like, okay. So maybe this situation, maybe their going backwards would be their start of their forward movement. Because I hope they don't take none of these people back. I don't know. So we start with Biggs and Rebecca. He tells her he don't know why he did it. She asks, I'm sorry, let me back this up. He cheated on her. He finally admitted to cheating on her. So technically, this is her first time hearing it. So she's upset, as she should be, even though they hadn't been together in, I want to say, months or years. She still is visibly upset. So he tells her he don't know why he did it. He just did, and it just happened. This is just a level of selfishness. Because I feel like if you have to go through these lengths, then you don't need to be with that person. You can just easily break up with that person. But people are so selfish that they rather do what they want to do and not tell you and keep you in the dark and expose you to a lot of other stuff that goes along with cheating on your partner. I don't know. So to me, Biggs is really childish. Rebecca asked if she would have told him, if they wouldn't have never broke up, would he have told her? And so he couldn't even answer the question, and I think he said no eventually, but he just really couldn't answer the question. And I just felt like in this moment, he is such a loser. And I was just thinking, do you really want this man back? And I just feel like he needs to grow up. So the relationship expert said that Biggs isn't emotionally mature as Rebecca. And I found that to be really true. And they questioned, the relationship expert and the host questioned, Do they really need to be in a relationship? And I was like, hell no. I hope that she walk away from him again. So we see Rebecca in her confessional crying. She is really, really hurt behind this because, again, this is technically, even though she heard the allegations, that there were allegations and she walked away for other reasons, this is her first time facing what has happened, and like she's extremely hurt by it. So I don't know. So Steph and Andre, the other couple, they met at a club, and she said that he was nice, he was kind, of course. 4 months after they moved in together, they had been together, and then 4 months after moving in together, she found out he was texting other women. So the girl she read the text, but the girl told Andre how much she misses him. And within 24 hours, Steph moved out and hasn't seen him in 2 years. And when I tell y'all, Steph stood on big business. Like, that's how you stand on big business. Like, you don't sit around, you don't wait, you do what you need to do. And she felt like, I did what I needed to do. Let me protect myself. So they met up, and she asked him to explain those text messages that he had with the other women. He actually admitted to sleeping with the girl, and she just, of course, she was hurt and she started crying. Again, she hadn't seen him in 2 years. So I want to say a lot of emotions come with you haven't seen nobody in 2 years. You feel like, I'm good. But then you physically have to face them. And not only that, they're staying in the same place as you are. Like, that's insane. That does a lot to trauma. I don't know. And he claimed it was 3 times. That's what he said. So Andre tells Steph that he was feeling neglected, and Steph felt bad. And I was like, so you throw this back in her face after you did her wrong, instead of just going to Steph and having a conversation about how you were feeling. You started talking to other women, because let's be clear, these conversations was probably before you met Steph and during your relationship with Steph. So all of this had been happening. So for you to say that this lady neglected you was like crazy to me. And she, like, you kept seeing the people who were cheating, they kept trying to make it the other person's responsibility. It was it was the way they were saying things, and it was like, no, this was on you. And the relationship expert said that Steph appears to be positive about their conversation, because Steph did say, okay, I didn't realize, I just left without listening to what you needed. And I think sometimes it's a coping mechanism. Like, I'm just going to walk away before I, because if you're talking to other women, what else you're going to do? And so for some people, it's coping. Like, I'm just going to walk away because I don't want to be hurt more than what I am. And she just moved on with her life. And I wasn't mad about that, because he wouldn't even have the conversation to let her know that he was feeling neglected. Because trust me, you were feeling neglected before you were texting, which was why you probably were texting other women. So you had ample enough time to talk to her, but you chose not to. You chose to take what you thought was the easy way out, which is crazy to me. Again, I'm not judging, I'm just saying this is crazy. So she walks off. He felt bad about it, because he went to his area and he started crying, and he said he felt the way, and you should, because you hurt her feelings and you needed to see that, and y'all need to see the hurt and pain that y'all put people through. Like, that's insane to me. So Karen and Amberly trust is broken 2 ways, of course. Karen said he met 2 girls on a boat when him and Amberly went on a trip. They got into it, and he met 2 girls on a boat. He said that he went to the room. Oh, he went to the room with the two girls. He did not go back to the room when him and Amberly got into it. He didn't go back to the room. He didn't come back to the room until the next day, 4 o'clock p.m. And so he tells Amberly that he slept in the bed with the girls. And I was like, Karen, please. You did more than that for you not to come back to the next day. So, this was the one where Karen said, Amberly texted him and told him that she was going to sleep with her ex. But Amberly didn't say anything until Karen, she didn't do any of that. It was after a while. She waited a while. This was like way months towards the end of their relationship. So this was what happened with them on the boat. I want to say this was like in mid part of their relationship, and ever since she had trust issues, so she couldn't trust him. But I was like, you can't, two wrongs don't make it right. Like, you can't say, hey, I'm going to call my ex. Like, you can't do that either. Just leave. If it's that bad, if you don't feel right about it, you have to leave. So what the experts believe that this part, this stuff was a lot to unpack, which it is. So I guess they'll unpack it along the way. So then we have Tegan and Sean. He moved in with her 2 weeks after they met, and I was like, oh wow, that's a lot. And so when they moved in, his ex DM'd Tegan on social media. DM'd her wherever he can find, wherever she was able to find Tegan. She DM'd her on social media, and she told Tegan that Sean had been cheating, and she had proof. Now Sean doesn't know this, but Sean told Tegan that he only kissed her, and that, so as he was explaining what happened, he said she kissed me and she asked me to come back to my place. I went up the stairs. She walked up the stairs behind me. Y'all see what I'm saying? He was shifting blame on her rather than taking accountability for the part that he played. You invited her. She came. You kissed her just like she kissed you. Everything was a two-way street. This didn't happen just on a, this just didn't happen because of you. So, he lied. Also, he lied and told he told the girl, whoever he was with, I don't think it was the ex, but it was the ex who told him that Sean had been cheating on Tegan while they were in their relationship. And so, the woman he was with, he told her that he didn't have a girlfriend. So Tegan decided, as they were talking, she was like, at that time I did take you back. And then she said, as she took him back, I think she started resenting herself because she started to change. And the people around her told her, like, you are really changing. And she started changing because she said she lived for him and she made her whole existence about him. And I was like, after he cheated on you? And he apologized to her, but I guess, after 3 years, he finally offered up an apology to this woman. And I just was like, okay. He did say, Sean said he didn't expect Tegan to feel how she felt. And I was like, sir, well, how do you suppose, like, how was she supposed to feel? Come on, really, you did all of this, and what was she supposed to feel? So anyway, Olivia and Liam, they've been together for 10 years. He said the person he cheated with, it was just a kiss. And, this the one who had the evidence. So she tells Liam that I have evidence it was more than just that. She said that in her confessional. Liam said they always had issues due to Olivia's jealousy. Now, let's start from the beginning. What made Olivia jealous? Because she just wasn't Now, sometimes if we don't deal with what has happened to us before, we'll definitely walk into a relationship and carry that, all of those issues. And so, Olivia said Liam would have family events that she wouldn't get invited to, but he would invite his female friends. And I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So Liam started crying. And I was just looking at Liam like, if it was just a kiss, if it was only just a kiss, that's all you did, why are you crying? So Olivia pulled out her phone, showed him the picture, and asked if he knew this girl. And this is where the episode ended. I'm going to try to get into this, y'all. I particularly not, I just need to see. So, it's only 9 episodes, though. I want to say it's 8 episodes and a reunion, I think. But it's called Cheat. It is Unfinished Business Cheat. Let me know if y'all watched it, if y'all like it. I'm actually going to keep on going. Because this really is a lot to unpack, to have people to revisit the place that hurt them the most. And it's a lot, but I understand that so well. In order to heal, sometimes you have to revisit those places that may have hurt you so you can get to the root of the problem. So I don't know, that's how I'm gonna take it, and that's where we gonna go, and that's how we gonna roll, y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video.